Hello everybody, this is our 40th greatest move of all time. We're doing a series on the 50 greatest moves of all time. We are, I think, 20% of the way through, if I'm any good at math. This game is between Kramnik and Shirov in 1994, two of the best to ever play. And both of them were in their prime at this point, I think. So a good game. It's going to be a fantastic move by black once the pieces stop moving, and we'll examine what's going on and see if we can figure out what the tactic is here when it shows itself. Okay, so we're in the mid game. White has a lot of space. Black is going to try to, gets the bishop out of there before it gets too cramped. Ooh, pawn, take, queen, loses the bishop. Oh, but threats of queen coming in. Okay, and defense. And let's see what's going to happen here. Okay, so white attacks the knight on g4 as his last move. And so now it's black's turn to move. So this is where you try to find what is the 40th greatest move of all time. Go ahead and drop in the comments what you think it might be, whether you know it or whether you don't know it. And if you already know it and you've never seen this before, then that is pretty amazing, because this one is kind of hard to see. You know, there's black only has, 4 pieces that are left in the game. They're all involved in the attack, but he needs to obviously coordinate them in order to really get going. White has his pieces near his king. They're aiding in defense. But yeah, it doesn't really look like there's a ton going on in this position. So, which makes black's move all the more amazing. So, pause it if you haven't seen it. Otherwise, we will take a look. In this position, black plays rook to e4, which, interesting, I think this is the first time in our series that the evaluation bar actually does not like that move. I think you saw it even go slightly more towards white. So normally when we do this move, sort of the move that we're really looking for, it's, the evaluation bar is already heavily in favor of the player making the move, or it turns it in favor. But in this case, black is still losing. So white can hold on and win this game if they move correctly. But in the game, let's see how this rook sacrifice, or potential rook sacrifice, plays out in the game. White does not take that rook. He takes with pawn, takes back, pushes his own pawn, rook takes, threatens to promote for a queen. Black just ignores it and moves his rook back where it was, able to be taken. White does not promote yet. Oh, white can't promote. White, if white promotes, the queen takes. Sorry. So that's not an option just yet. He does promote. Takes the knight. Queen goes right back where it was. It likes that spot. Rook defends. Black takes another pawn. Now the pawn gets pushed again. Double up those rooks. Double up the rook and the queen. And now you see the evaluation bar turning towards black, right? Takes. Check. Gets out of check. And now that black can stop this promotion, it's a win for black. So that's how that game played out. Let's see if we can figure out why white does not take the rook when he first has the chance. So in this series, this is the Analyze with Me series, and the reason we're calling it that is that sometimes I have to figure out what's going on in a variation that was not played in the game. So in the game, let's see. So white can take with knight or the pawn. So let's say pawn takes rook. Then what happens here? Takes back. This rook is now in danger. Let's say that this rook, where can this rook go? Can't stay there, can't go there. Can't go there, or there, or there. So this rook is sort of lost. So what might be an okay move is rook to e. Oh, look at that evaluation bar. Wow. So that did not go well. Why? Because of just obviously rook takes on f4, and the king is now going to get hunted down. Let's say he goes, oh, then it's just mate in 2 with a little queen check and bishop block and mate. Good night. So that's what happens if, and let's say he doesn't, let's say he blockades maybe. So obviously still win for black. The idea here is that I think you can just take the rook. Yeah, you just take the rook. If you take the bishop, then you lose the queen. Good night. Okay, so this is why taking with the pawn was super dangerous for white. Let's say that he tries to take with the knight instead. What happens here? And you see the evaluation bar switch again. So the idea here is, I think if you just take back with the pawn, then the rook is again in a similar position where, no, he didn't move out of the way this time. Okay, so now let's say that he just moved on out of the way by going, let's say he doubled up his rooks. Then, can you just take? No, it does not work because then the rook will just take back and there's no follow-up. So let's see, what's the idea here? Black is still winning. Can you just push pawn? No, don't. Analyze with me because I don't know about this. Rotates pawn. Yeah, if you rotate pawn, this pawn is now pinned down. What do I do here? You can't take, queen takes, and queen takes. Let's say he defends. Let's say he defends your queen. Okay, so that, that's slightly worse. So a little bit better move. I'm not sure what I'm going to find. Let's see here. And that's definitely not it. What's a good move here? I assume it's not queen there. Maybe that's here. Let's see here. Oh, now it's is dead. So if your white tries to keep it, do you sacrifice? No. I check. I know. Sometimes you do. You move the king? No, I guess you turn it down. The queen takes somewhere shows. Try shot here. Probably not. You made 6. Okay, it works here. I don't know. You put it back? No. What's the move? You can't move on. You can't move the bishop. Okay, so white can do what? Now he's losing. Sounds so tough. What do I do here? Shoot. Oh, some material. So let's see here. He can give back material. He moves his king. Can't be that danger. Oh man. I don't know what it is. I lose that. How do you queen? Oh man. I can't figure it out. Here? No, oh, the other? The same different. Oh, that's that different? That's amazing. No, you think you will be button in. 0.4. Okay, so I'm not sure. Okay, see, it was even. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say. Here's something I'll figure out. We'll say that's something like this. Black can move. What do you do? Use right? No, I'm terrible. Push. No, I'm still winning. No, it's only. Oh, it's okay. It's here. What can we do? I mean, that's not better. Oh, that's a move. Why did I do? You can't come here. No, why not? Oh, okay, let's check. Just kidding. That's your move. Okay. So white is slightly ahead. The queen trade loses. So what's here? No. What's everything white does? Make it work for him. What's you want to go here? You want to protect this? You go back or something? You bring the rook over? I don't know. You can't go back. That's got to be worse. Yeah. Okay, I'm giving up on this one. I'll solve this one later. Black's winning. So this was all of this was from if we recall, if when white tries to take with the knight, instead of the game, if he take with the knight here, then this was the continuation we were looking at. Looks like this puts black up ever so slightly, and with the correct play, which I cannot figure out, maybe you can, then black can keep the advantage and try to win this game. So the rook to e4 move, like I said, unique in that it does not lead to a immediate advantage for black, but white has to play very carefully. In the game, he did not, and black was able to take advantage. This may have been a move where I assume white probably looked at it for a very long time trying to figure out what was going on. So maybe it was a time control type of situation where maybe he spent a whole bunch of time trying to figure out all these lines, right? Because this is crazy complicated. I can't even figure it out looking with the evaluation bar and having being able to move the pieces back and forth, much less figuring out in real time without those aids. Okay, so this was, again, our 40th greatest move. The rest of the series should be down to the left, and like and subscribe. Okay, thanks for watching.